Look, Matt Baier is one of the creepiest characters to ever appear on reality television. That's just a fact. And if there were any doubts about that, they should have all been erased after the most recent episode of Teen Mom OG. In the episode, we saw Matt accompany poor Amber Portwood to Las Vegas to see their friends get married. While they were there, they considered getting married themselves. Amber decided to call her brother, Sean, first, and he wasn't exactly down with the idea of his little sister getting married without her family present. She agreed, adding that it didn't feel right to have a wedding without her daughter by her side. And Matt lost his damn mind. While speaking to Amber, he went back and forth between guilting her and comforting her when his guilt made her feel bad, but when she stepped away, he went off on a producer. He said that he would never marry Amber after she humiliated him on TV, and he even claimed she wanted to marry her brother instead of him. For the entire episode, Matt's behavior was alarming and inexcusable, but in a shocking new interview, he admits there's a reason for it all. Earlier this year, he relapsed. Matt, who said that he used to be addicted to the same things Amber was addicted to, tells people that I had a drug relapse this year for the first time with prescription pills. He says that for around 2 months he was taking a good amount of pills and I was killing the pain, and that things got out of control, and the Vegas trip was in the middle of that period. When he saw the episode, he says he cried, because that person that I was watching was not me, it's not who I am. I remember getting really upset and I felt a lot of shame. Also, what I said is completely not how I feel and also it didn't make sense. I do know that I allowed myself to have my buttons pushed that day, I just don't remember it all that well. They just caught me on a really bad day. He adds that when I saw that piece of tape I had no idea that even existed, that wasn't me. I completely blacked out. I was selfish. I was rambling. I was not remembering something we had filmed just 20 minutes prior. I was in a really, really bad place. It's a little confusing, because he says he blacked out and doesn't remember anything, and even at the time he couldn't remember things that had happened minutes before. But in the episode, we see him going to a producer a while after his claims that he would never marry Amber and begging her to get the footage erased. Specifically, he urged her to offer oral pleasures to someone who could get rid of the footage. Also, in Monday's after show, he didn't mention the relapse at all. In that version of events, he was 95% joking, or he was heartbroken about not being able to marry Amber right then. But anyway, Matt says that it was only a short while into his relapse before Amber figured out that something was up, and when he told her the extent of things, she advised him to get help immediately. Amber is supportive, but she can be stern when it comes to stuff like this. She was pretty firm about it, he recalls. One thing he wants to make clear is that he never took his pills when Amber's daughter, Leah, was around because I never did drugs around my kids. He says that he went to a program, got sober again, and now I have zero desire for it. If all of this is true, then Amber really needs to consider moving on from him, no matter how supportive she may be. She had a very serious problem with her addiction, and it would be dangerous for her to be around this. But on the other hand, if Matt is making this story up for some reason, well, she still needs to consider moving on.